Hi, this is technology expert Reginald Andre, and today I like to talk about the rules of video conferencing at home. If you're one of the employees that are blessed to be able to work from home, this may be new for you. So let's get right to it. The first thing is you want to limit your distractions. Do you know how annoying it is when you're in an in-person meeting and the person is like this or like this? It's annoying, right? Just now imagine a video conference where someone's having a one-on-one conversation with you and they see your head go down or go to the left. Or maybe you're just doing something else on an email and you're like this. Keep in mind that the camera eye that's right here and the eye contact that I'm giving the camera right now is the same as if it's a person. Treat it like it's a person. So that way the connection is made and the person knows that you are giving them their full attention. Also, for those of you that have kids, I know the schools, at least here in Miami-Dade County, have just announced that there's going to be no school for 30 days. So it's going to be understandable that there's going to be kids at home while you're working. But try to make a deal with your kids. Say, hey kids, little Johnny, little Sue, let's make a deal. I have a very important 45-minute teleconference call. I'm going to put on the cartoons. I'm going to give you your water. I'm going to give you your food. I need you to be as quiet as possible. And if you do that for me, I promise you later on we'll get some ice cream or we'll play some Uno. We'll spend some time together. But just for this 45 minutes, I really need you to be shh. Also, music. If you have your Sonos, if you have your Alexa, music coming, Pandora playing from your computer, keep in mind that that's going to transmission also in the video conference. So, and if you're speaking and that music is playing in the background, you'll actually be competing. And that person is going to try to be, they'll be listening to the music and listening to your voice. And that also gets distracting. So I would just say limit the music or just turn it off. Also, speaking of that, there are mute buttons. So when you're doing these video conferences and maybe the kids just all of a sudden decide to make a loud noise or whatever, you could quickly click on the mute button. Or if you're not even talking in the video conference or it's not your turn to talk, just keep it on mute until it's your turn to talk. Lastly, eating and drinking. I would use the same etiquette as if you were in front of that person physically. So that means no eating Cheerios and then it getting all over your mouth and it just becomes very unprofessional. Or a tangerine and just start opening it up and again, same thing, it gets in your teeth and it's just not a good impression. If you must eat because maybe it's a long teleconference and maybe there's 40, 50 people on this call, what you can quickly do is you can hide your camera, disable your camera. There's an option for that. And then if you need to take a quick scoop, come back and then turn back on the camera. Now, something like water or coffee like here, that's no problem. Just and go ahead. But don't just start maybe if you like to eat ice and then all of a sudden eating ice because that's how you're going to be portrayed in the video. And a lot of these video conferencing calls, they're being recorded. And that way people can go back to it for records. And if they're watching the video and here you are, it just doesn't look good. So the next thing we want to talk about is dress casually but appropriately. You want to follow your company's culture. Like here, we have company shirts. So I wear the company shirts when we're doing our video calls. And maybe you're used to wearing suits. Maybe a suit, maybe an overkill. But if it's a first time customer, you may want to dress to impress, just like how you would normally do. So whatever you wear on the bottom is no problem because they're not going to see the bottom. That's your business, what you do down there. But at least on the top, just keep it, at least business casual. The next thing is you want to be able to find the light. The light is your friend when it comes to looking good and getting most out of the video call. A lot of times with cameras, there's actually options where you can increase the brightness because you may not have that much light in a particular room that you want to do. So I'm going to show you right now. And here you should now notice that it gets a little dark. So you can do that on the video calls too. And also just sitting by a window also definitely helps you get the most out of the light, because nobody wants to be talking with somebody and they're super dark. You want to be having a conversation, so if you smile, they can see you, and it's just as personable as possible. The next item is don't sweat your background too much. It's understandable that you don't have a home office, so maybe your backgrounds are not as nice as as it could be. But definitely, if you have a dining room table, a living room, a bedroom, you just want to just pick anything that has a nice background. If there's anything personal, pictures that you need to hide, go ahead and put them back. Look at my background, for example. There's no coincidence that I'm doing it where I have a bookshelf. And then from there, you can see my wife. Around my bald head, you can see a trophy. Over here, you can see a degree that I have. And these are actually great conversation starters. So if you're about to have a video conference meeting, maybe it's the first time you're having this with a client, and you see their background, and maybe they have a picture of a Dan Marino or a football player or whatever the case is, poster, maybe a baseball or whatever the case is. It's a great conversation starter to have before you actually start your meeting, to be able to break the ice. The last thing is you want to make introductions. Keep this as if it's still a formal in-person meeting. A lot of times when I have meetings with construction projects, developers, etc., you can have 10 people and you have assistants and you have like no idea what these people do. And it's always just good for a quick 10-second introduction. Hi, my name is such and such. I work for this company, or I'm part of this project team, whatever the case is. But definitely make introductions to get people to feel comfortable to have this conversation. I hope these tips were useful. We also have other videos about tips on working from home, how to work from home, and how to also prepare your office to be able to work from home. So please, if you like this, please share it. Please like it. Please subscribe. Thank you.